All right, we've got a question from YouTube. And by the way, a lot of my questions on this channel come from YouTube. So if you want your question answered, post it below and maybe you'll be next. In any case, first we start with a compliment. Todd, mad respect to you. Your content is gold. Keep up the good work, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Question, can beta males win? Or should I say, can betas get the same sort of desirable results like alphas? Applicable to those who have trouble transforming into a full alpha. So the answer to your question is yes and no, okay? No, you're not gonna get the results by staying beta. However, it may be a lot easier to transform into an alpha male than you think because you may be misunderstanding what an alpha male is. Being an alpha male does not mean weighing 300 pounds, benching 600 pounds, and eating raw meat, okay? It does not mean being able to kill someone with your bare hands. Maybe in the days of the cavemen, that would be, component to an alpha male, because if you were acting confidently and stepping up, you would be, potentially challenged and you'd get in fights back then. Nowadays, we live in a very much more civilized world. And the things that make you an alpha, which by the way, just means a leader of men, right? Alphas are leaders. Alphas are people that other people will follow, that have a good social acceptance, that are like sort of the center points of a social group. That's what an alpha male is nowadays. And really that's what an alpha male always was. There just was this high dependence on strength back in the day. But there are a lot of, think of like a tech CEO who is a leader of a company. That's an alpha male within the scope of his company, even if he weighs 90 pounds and has never seen the gym. Okay, so being an alpha male does not mean the same thing it used to. And you can step up and be the things that an alpha male is, mostly by just deciding to. Mostly by deciding you're going to be willing to be assertive. Mostly by deciding you're going to think for yourself and you're going to lead. Now, if you go and lead and you're not a very competent leader yet, a lot of people won't follow you. But you know what? Some people probably still will. And when people start following you, you're gonna grow into that role. You're gonna get more experience. You're gonna become a better leader, right? So being an alpha male does not mean, provoking violence. It does not mean being like so full of testosterone that your muscles have muscles, right? That's a stereotype. It's not what's true in the real world, and that's not what women are really attracted to. Women are attracted to men who seem competent, men who can handle their own shit, and men who other men follow. But that doesn't have to do with a lot of those other traits that you may be thinking, all right? So I, for example, am about 5'7", 5'8". I weigh about probably 170 pounds. I'm not that big of a guy. I'm not that physically imposing, but there are, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that watch and have watched my videos, right? A woman sees that, sees people responding to me socially, and that's huge amounts of value for her, right? When I walk into a club, I may not have ever been there before. I'm not as big as the bouncer, but I walk in with confidence. I walk in with a clear expectation that when I talk, people will listen and that people will respond well to me. People respond to those social cues and they are attracted to me because of it, right? I've also learned, certain skills that will allow me, that when I am put under social pressure, to handle it, come out on top without having to get into fights or without having to scrap like the alpha males of yore would have to have done. So I've taught myself to be these alpha male things, but I inherently am an introvert. I'm inherently not the most assertive person. I don't like being assertive. I absolutely can when I need to, and I absolutely do nowadays, but it's not my preference. It's not my natural state of affairs, right? But in the modern day, I can be an alpha. In the modern day, you don't have to be Jewish, you don't have to be on testosterone, and you don't have to be an asshole to be an alpha. Okay, so if you stay beta though, if you stay the guy who's passive, the guy who's shy, the guy who's a wallflower, the guy who doesn't take social risks, the guy who expects a negative social response, you will not get girls very effectively being that. So you do need to become non-beta, right? And you need to become modern alpha, if you will. But that does not mean you need to fit the stereotype of what you may think is an alpha.